You have lived your life conforming to social norms all around you. You have now had your spiritual awakening, and you realize you don't have to conform to these social norms anymore. Join me as we dive deep into the 5 social norms that spiritually awakened people slowly start releasing after they've had their enlightenment. Hi, I'm Bethel, and I am dedicated to assisting people as they navigate their spiritual journey. As I mentioned, this video is going to dive deep into 5 social norms that spiritually awakened people slowly find themselves releasing. The first one is the pursuit of external validation. You have probably spent your whole life looking for somebody outside of yourself to say, "Good job, well done." This starts as a child when you are wanting your mom and dad's validation. You do something amazing and you look up at mom and dad with those big eyes and wait for them to clap you on. We still do it as adults in our jobs, waiting for that pay raise or the next promotion. It's waiting for somebody else to say, "You're good enough. You're worth it. Great job." Once you have entered your spiritual awakening, you realize the only opinion that matters is yours. You will start slowly shifting out of that false need of someone else saying, "You've got this, you can do it, you're good enough." You start realizing you were born good enough. You don't need someone to tell you. You have that greater intuition and you know that you are on the right path for where you should be. You start looking inward for self-validation, for your self-love, and your self-trust. The second social norm that spiritually awakened people find themselves drifting away from is the obsession with material wealth. We live in a world where there's this unwritten competition of who drives the biggest car, who owns the biggest house, who wears the nicest clothes. Advertising and social media are embedding us with all of these bigger and better things. But you realize once you start your spiritual awakening journey that none of that stuff really matters. You will still go to work. You will still pursue an education. You will still pursue opportunities in life, but your purpose behind them will start to shift. You'll maybe quit that 9-to-5 job you've had for 25 years to start your own business. You will see that you still go to work, but it's not for the paycheck, but it's to assist and serve other people around you, to play and have fun. Your purpose behind the things you do slowly starts shifting, and the need and the obsession to have the bigger and better thing and have the most money in your bank account slowly starts drifting away. And you realize that all your needs have always been taken care of, are now taken care of, and will always be taken care of. A third social norm I find might be controversial to a lot of people in my personal family and extended friends. However, it is one that I cherish and love so dearly, and that is the conforming to what relationships should look like. Who am I to say who you can and can't love? Who am I to say that you're worthless if you're not married by age 25? Being married, does that really say I'm valuable? I was raised in a religion that said that my only worth was to be the wife of a man, and that I needed to be pregnant and a stay-at-home mom, and that was all I was good for. And you know what? That's not true. I am worth so much more than that. And I don't need to be married to be a worthwhile individual. If I choose to get married, a spiritually awakened person will marry for love. They will marry for the person that sees their soul and will mesh with that soul and assist them in serving their life's purpose and vibing high. And it doesn't complete them. It is like two whole beings that come together and have a synchronistic relationship, assisting the other person to be their best versions. And how that looks, it's to be an individual thing. Society doesn't get to say, you can only be married to one person. You have to be married at a certain age. You have to only marry a certain gender. It gets to look how you want to look, make it look. If you don't want to get married at all, great. If you don't want to label boyfriend, girlfriend ever, super. And that is a freeing thing that this social norm provides, and that people who are spiritually awakening realize you get to let go of. And it's a glorious thing when you realize your self-worth outside of relationships, because you realize the most important relationship that you can have on this earth is the one with yourself. That is where you will feel your potential. That is the one person you always get to rely on, will always be there, and is the one person you came to this earth to serve. You get to serve and bless many people along your path, but the ultimate one is the relationship with yourself. Another social norm that spiritually awakening people realize that gets to shift and will start looking different is the need for constant productivity. We live in a world where we are rushing. Go, 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 go. Get it done fast. Get it done yesterday. Do 12 things at one time. Multitasking. Oh, isn't that a great word? If you've ever filled out an job application, you make sure you put that in as one of your skills. I can multitask. Kind of reminds me of the old country song, I'm in a hurry to get things done. I rush and I have no fun. That's kind of where the world is coming. And a spiritually awakened person realizes you're more productive when you stop. You pull back. You rest. Maybe meditate. You connect with your inner higher self. And it's through those moments of quiet, peaceful, restful contemplation that downloads and information and progress comes in ways that supersede all that rushing that the world says you need to do. You get to rest. And it is through that active resting that you realize the social norm of rush doesn't serve you anymore. And the fifth social norm that a spiritually awakening person slowly starts shifting and changing in their life is to do different activities, especially holiday celebrations, just because it's what they've always known. We're coming up to the holiday season here as I record this video. Halloween is in about a week, and Thanksgiving and Christmas are right around the corner. And if you're like a lot of the people that grow up in the United States, you do all of these holiday activities because it's what you've known your whole life. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, a spiritually awakened person starts going, why am I doing this? Does it serve my highest need? Am I doing it because I have to, or because it brings me such joy and such pleasure? Kind of reminds me of the very first video I ever made where, is it a hell yeah? If what you're doing brings you joy, keep doing it. This is a time where a spiritually awakened person will question and start shifting and changing out of traditions and habits that they've done mindlessly and never asked why. Your spiritual awakening journey is about coming to yourself. It's about turning inward to Be your highest purpose. It's about discovering who you are so you can fulfill your greatest mission on earth. And these social norms that surround us, looking out externally for validation, for seeking a larger paycheck, for always being obsessed with materials and money things, for relationships being told have to look a certain way, being told that you have to constantly be producing and moving and going, and just blindly doing things your whole life because someone else said you had to, are all things that start slowly shifting out of your space because you are coming inward. And it is through that inward power that you take complete control over your life and what works for you and your journey and being the person you came to be. I wish you luck on your journey. Go ahead and drop some comments down below about different social norms you find that you are letting shed as you start coming back to who you are. Ask away your questions and let's have a great conversation. Until next time, friends, namaste.